So, episode 1, Deborah and Jamal. Let's go. My humble goal is to hit 5k subscribers by the end of the year. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
So my partner's running late, I apologise.
Whose idea to come to the session was it?
It was Jamal's idea. I'm open to it, I'm excited. You know, I want to see where we can take our relationship because we are, you know, we've been together a year now. So I don't actually understand how Jamal is late. He's the one that has brought me to this whole thing and you're late. I'm sitting here, I don't know the lady, I look very stupid.
Was the traffic bad?
Sorta, yeah.
Well, you're here now, so that's all that matters. Can I just start by asking you...
Managing expectations, people. That's literally one of my favorite concepts. You need to be able to manage expectations. The expectation is there is a therapy session. Jamal, you planned this. You planned this thing and you invited your girlfriend to come along. How are you late? That's one of the things I really detest. And the issue isn't that you're late. The issue is you didn't manage the expectation, which automatically makes the person who's affected by your delay, you automatically put them in a defensive and annoying and irritated mode, when essentially all you could have done was say, hey, I'm running a bit late. You know, that way you're always managing that expectation. It's all about communicating. You automatically make the person feel like their time isn't important to you. And obviously that is what we're going to see very soon. We know what's happening, but we're going to learn, right? We're learning here. So if you find that you're someone who cannot manage expectations properly, you're the type of person who realizes if you're not going to meet a certain deadline or meet a certain expectation, you kind of cower, or you'd rather ghost, or you'd rather just air the message. Don't do that. That is very immature, and it's a sign of poor or low emotional maturity. As much as it's hard to do, just pick up the phone and let the person know that, hey, I know I can be a bit of a bimbo when it comes to time, but I promise I'm on my way, or I'm sorry I cannot make it. It's better for you to do that and take that bullet rather than just ignore it. Or in Jamal's case, come through and it's kind of like, yeah, well, I'm here, innit? Sorry, there wasn't much traffic. I'm here. So you kind of leave the rest for interpretation. And most of the time that interpretation is not in your favor. I wish here he would have just said something like,
I'm such a klutz, I'm always like this, I'm really sorry that, you know, I keep doing this, I am working on it and I'll do better.
You know, something like that, just so that the person knows that, you know, they're a bit important, but just nothing, just bopping in. Yeah.
Just looking into your background, have you had many relationships?
This actually is my first relationship, but I have obviously dated in the past. But yeah, this is my first relationship and yeah, going strong a year.
And what about you, Jamal?
This is my 4th relationship. Hopefully it's my last one, to be fair, so looking good.
I think there's a lot that we need to work on. An example of today is Jamal's lateness. I work a 9 to 5, he does fitness, so our timetables already clash. But whenever we plan to go on like date nights or we go church together every 2 weeks, he's always late. When I address him, he's unable to communicate and explain like why he's late or give me a heads up for being late. So yeah, that's a problem for me. I feel like he's always late when it comes to something that we're doing. I don't feel like he respects my time. I don't think Jamal has ever been late to a client's Zoom meeting, but why is it when it's Deborah time, he's late?
My time management is not the issue. I feel like it's more down to communication. There's been several times.
Did you communicate that you're going to be late?
Of course.
What about last week when you were supposed to come to my house?
Yes, we changed the time before then. So Denise, this is the situation. So Originally the time was for 8 p.m. Then I realised I double booked with another client. So I gave her the up.
Yeah, that's already an issue. We had pre-planned that we were going to meet up because as of recent, we haven't been seeing each other as often because Jamal's taken on more clients.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
But we had...
I think owning your flaws, being aware of your issues, makes you such an easier person to deal with, you know. If you suffer or struggle with, you know, time management, unable to manage expectations in a healthy manner, I think you need to really own up to it, own up to these things and really work on it. I find that the reason why Jamal and Deborah still have this issue is because Jamal is still in denial of the issue, but it is an issue. And I think obviously maybe Deborah could have said it in a different way, but I think at this point it was like the last straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. I can imagine behind the scenes it's something that she constantly says, so there will come a point where you just can't say it in a nice manner. It's kind of like, can you just respect me a little bit? And I think with that, instead of coming across as naggy and requesting it, you need to set a boundary, because what you need to learn to do is protect your peace. Because I find that with this dynamic, it's always rubbing off Deborah in the wrong way, which in effect also rubs off Jamal, the culprit, in the wrong way as well. So it's kind of like a rocky hamster wheel kind of dynamic. First thing is, if you identify yourself in Jamal, when it comes to this trait, I think the first step is to just take ownership of it and just be upfront and say, do you know what? I actually suck in this area, and this is how I can start respecting you in this area because you actually matter to me. And then hopefully the character of Deborah, or if you see yourself in Deborah, when you actually see that your partner is trying to start meeting the expectations, trying to start respecting you when it comes to time, I think help them as well. Help them on that way. You know, the beginning's always quite rocky, but you will get there eventually. Let's go.
Things happen. Like, I do have clients across the pond.
Can I just ask a question? When you are going to be late, do you communicate that? Do you let her know?
No.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Okay, so the last time we invited me to your house, didn't I communicate that with you?
He told me 5 minutes before the time that he's going to be late. That's inappropriate.
Deborah just always complaining about me being late. Like, she just feel like she's been controlling. Like, she doesn't take consideration of my time, where I'm coming from, what I'm doing before. She just wants to set the time and expects me to get there. They ain't gonna run.
See, that's it. Like, it's put him in the defensive mode. But in actual fact, if he just owned up to it and said, yeah, I struggle in this area and I'll do better, I think the situation would have been managed a little bit more peaceful or amicably, you know? I find that because he's irritated by it, Deborah is even more irritated by it, because in a way she's the victim here, the one that's been disappointed. So it's kind of like, you do not have any right to be upset because you're the one that caused this. You know, that dynamic, you know what I'm talking about, relationships, it's tit for tat, you already know. But I find that, as I've said already, if he owns up to his flaw, his issue, his struggle, and Deborah also yields to his efforts to trying to be better, I think this issue will be resolved.
Me and Jamal argue all the time about his phone and social media. He's literally in love with social media. There's this new app called Clubhouse. I don't know if you've heard about it. This guy loves the app so much. I actually wish the app was not invented. I would call Jamal after a long day and we haven't spoken for a whole day, and he has Clubhouse in the background. Like, he'd literally call me on his MacBook so that he can have Clubhouse in the background, and then we'll have a separate conversation. Like, that's just too much.
How does that make you feel when you've got Clubhouse going and you're on the phone as well?
I mean, if I haven't spoken to you all day, like, am I not important? Like, you know that I go bed early, so I'm literally gonna take 20 minutes of your time. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. But he he has to have Clubhouse in the background. He has to be on stage. Everyone has to hear Jamal's voice. Like, it's really not that deep. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that he's craving female attention. Am I not giving him enough attention? This guy always wants to be on stage. What are you chasing? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, he's just not into you like that, love. I think, yeah, I mean, that's the vibe I'm getting throughout the episodes. He likes her to a certain degree, maybe hoping that the past Deborah may come out, but at the same time, it's like he's neither here or there. Obviously, there are other issues that we are aware of, which we will come to, but I think it's the combination of all these things. That's why he's so blasé about certain things with her time and all of that. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
It's really not that deep, to be fair, the way she's making it. To be fair, I would describe Clubhouse as like a podcast, really and truly. So I just listen to it as like background noise.
No, you don't. You're always on stage and you always have to make one comment.
The issue isn't the Clubhouse. The issue is the quality time, because your attention is most likely divided if you have Clubhouse in the background and you have your girlfriend on the phone. You're having a conversation, but you're also invested in Clubhouse conversation that's going on. Come on, Jamal. Again, I find that he's not very, I don't know if he's aware of this or he is aware but isn't very direct. He struggles to have these headstrong conversations. And Deborah is obviously very comfortable and very expressive, and that's coming across very like masculine. So she's definitely taken the masculine role in the relationship, whereas Jamal is just very soft, relaxed, laid back, and just allowing her to lead. And I think most of the time when men do that, okay, men, let's know, what do you think? Most of the time when men do that, it's either they've lost interest in you and yeah, you're no longer on the level that they originally had you on, and they're slowly losing their grip of you, or releasing their grip of you, so to speak. I think that's what's happening here, because he didn't start off being this laid back, I don't think. Or maybe he did, I don't know. Jamal, if you're watching, let us know. Let us know.
Or another.
Stage, but it doesn't mean I'm always commenting.
Regardless of the fact
Is
he doesn't listen
Clubhouse
to me.
important in your life?
Not more than Deborah.
No, I don't agree. Please ask that question honestly, please.
I said it.
So Clubhouse is less important than me?
No, you are more important than Clubhouse. That's facts.
I don't really agree, but that's fine.
You know what they say, it's a safe space, so it's an app full of fun and work, I guess. But I don't think it's about Clubhouse. I feel like Deborah she wants attention, I guess. So her being clingy here and there, it's cute, but she just needs to relax. I think she's getting a bit jealous, maybe.
Where did he pull the jealousy from? You know, sometimes they pull these things out of thin air. Yes, she wants attention. You're her boyfriend, you know. Where did you get anyway, let's go.
Do you feel that you make time for Deborah?
Most certainly.
I don't think he does. When we first got together, we were seeing each other up to 3 times a week. Now it's like once every 2 weeks. For me, I don't know if you want to spend time with me or not, but for me, that's like, what is the relationship if I'm going to see you once every 2 weeks? Do you get what I mean? I love quality time, and you know that. Yeah. And at the start of the relationship, that was what was happening. But obviously now there has been a shift, and that is what I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, I understand her. When your love language is quality time, and that aspect of the relationship is being starved, especially when your partner knows that that is your love language, it hurts on a deeper and a different level. And it's interesting because Jamal knows that what she's doing, you know, it's only because she wants some attention from him, especially if they're only seeing themselves like once every 2 weeks. He knows it, but at the same time, in a way, he's kind of like, do I really want to deal with this? I'd rather listen to some podcast on Clubhouse. So yeah, the nagging cycle will continue. and he will just be so chilled and blasé about it. It's just like a never-ending cycle.
Sometimes when Jamal messages me, I can't message him back as soon as. So his timetable, I'll say, it's more flexible than mine. I would message Jamal, and then he would message me back, and then, you know, I wouldn't respond in another 2 hours. And I know this guy's on his phone, like I literally saw him on Instagram, but because I had taken ages, because I was busy to message him, he would basically be matching my messages and take another 2 hours to message me. That is so childish. Is that not childish?
So wait, I'm being childish.
Is that not childish? Do you or do you not match my messages?
You're assuming that I do that.
Oh wait, hold on. Did I not see you on Instagram earlier that day that I messaged you? I double texted you and said, sorry, did you not see my message? Did I not?
Yeah, so that means you're monitoring my Instagram.
No, that's not. What I'm trying to say is, you match my messages. It's very childish. Okay, cool. So why didn't you respond to me for 2 hours?
I'm busy with clients. I'm not on my phone.
No, because you said I have your timetable, and yes, I do.
Yeah.
You wasn't with a client at that time.
Yes, I was.
Okay. Like, it's ridiculous. So childish. Like, if Max's mum was doing something, yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like, if Jamal would just grow a pair and just say, yeah, this is what it is, you know, just be a bit macho, take the lead and say,
Yeah, and what? I'm busy and what?
like, Deborah will be like, but this, oh, I'm not busy. Oh, you're busy. Oh, I'm not busy. It's so annoying. It's so childish. I mean, they're young, they're acting, they're making it extra dramatic and spicy, but I verified that people are actually existing who have these traits. They're like this, and it's very alarming to me. I personally don't have people like that in my life, so sometimes when I see this, it's like, what? People like this exist? If you know people that have these kind of traits, please let me know down below. I live a sheltered life, you see.
Not that serious.
We're not going to do comparisons.
Max's boyfriend, we speak a lot, as you know. Wait, me and Max speak a lot, isn't it? Like, she told me that when she addresses a situation, he's able to acknowledge it and he just moves on. Do you get what I mean?
I couldn't care less about your friend's boyfriend, this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Well, maybe you should chat to him a bit more.
How about this? Yeah, don't compare me. Like, I've had enough with your conversation with your friends, talking about our sex life, our family life, this. It needs to stop now. Deborah does this thing that I actually hate. Like, she loves comparing me to other people, other guys. Like, no one likes getting compared to other people. Like, why would you do it? We've had this conversation enough times. Honestly, it just needs to stop. It pisses me off so much.
Yeah, that is something that, you know, loose lips like diarrhea, stop it. Ladies, gents, if you have this kind of trait, literally zip your lips together, sew them together, because at the end of the day, what you need to understand is, unless you really have really authentic friendships, grown, mature friendships, most of the time, the parts that they will share with you, I would say it's quite one-sided, or what they think you can tolerate. So basing their whole relationship on the parts that they've shown you, or the parts that they've shared with you, and then bringing it into your relationship without really voicing those expectations with your partner, can really put a strain on that relationship. And even though the problem at hand has not been dealt with, the fact that she's brought comparison into it has just literally thrown a spanner in the works.
Yeah, Max is my best friend, so we speak a lot about our relationships. I'm an open person. Like, I'm happy to speak about our sex life. I'm happy to speak about things that we do. Like, I'm happy.
Yeah, just because you're happy to talk about these things, the fact that you're with somebody else, your partner, you need to practice a bit of boundaries, okay? Because you're open, your partner's not open, and they have not approved of you sharing that information with your friend. You don't know where that information is gonna go, and in actual fact, what even makes you want to talk about what you're talking about? Are you venting, or are you just loose lipping? Which one is it?
sounds like my girlfriend's a chatty patty. I don't like girls that just be speaking too much. Like, I hear she's your friend, but when it comes to situations that's about myself, especially my family life, and then you're talking about...
Family life?
Yeah, family life.
What's that about your family?
Yeah, so let me just put some context into it. So she spoke about a situation between me and my mother.
Oh my gosh.
We've had a bit...
Are you actually going to bring up that situation
Yeah,
here?
I'm going to bring it back up.
Okay.
So yeah, me and my mum, we have a bit of a, what would I say, here and there relationship sort of thing. So she's gone to her friend Mansa and just told her about the situation. I'm thinking it has nothing to do with your friend.
You know, it's just general chit-chat. Like, why do you care about what conversation with
Why do you have to
Mansa?
open your mouth about general chit-chat? Am I gist?
It's genuine chit-chat. You just need to understand that.
What, are you the shade bar now?
Childish. I literally do not see an issue with telling my best friend about my relationship. Like, it's what girls do.
No, that's not... Okay, maybe that's what girls do, but that's not what women do. Emotionally mature women do not do this. Yes, you can have healthy conversations with your girlfriends or your colleagues, but you need to know which bits to share and why you're sharing what you're sharing. If you're just blurting things out like diarrhea, blah, 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 then that's a problem. And the fact that she doesn't see it as a problem doesn't validate, means that she will not validate the issue that Jamal has with this current situation. And then they'll keep going in the hamster wheel. Because the thing is, all these issues diminish or it takes out from the love pot, you know. That's why they're both so petty, you know. I don't really see any love between them, you know. I don't really know what else they're holding on to that actually keeps them together, so to speak. I really don't know.
Can you see that you're reacting to each other?
Yeah, it's like every time I say something, he always has a rebuttal. Like, you never acknowledge what you do. You're late, you're childish, you take 2 hours to respond to my messages, and you have an issue with the conversation that I have with my friends.
How would you like him to change in the way that he deals with you? What would you like to see different?
Okay, I would like for Jamal to actually listen to me when I speak, for one. I would like you to take accountability and try and fix the things that I point out, because it's small things, it's very tiny, and I feel like we could move past it if you just accept the fact that sometimes you can be childish, yeah, and sometimes you're late. That's it.
Is there anything that you want to respond to with regards to Deborah?
I feel like just do not compare me. Like, no one likes being compared. How would you like if I compared you to one of my best friends?
Well, if you were behaving, then maybe I wouldn't be comparing you to other people.
Wait, are you my mum?
There's things that you do that I don't like, and I just want to seek advice from my friends. And when she told me what her boyfriend's doing, is even raising the bar even higher.
Does Jamal ever buy you gifts?
Ask her.
I mean, at the beginning of the relationship, in fact, no, before we got together, actually, he did buy me gifts. What? But now it's definitely dropped. I don't really get much. Even like flowers or like chocolate, you know.
Is that a problem for you?
Yeah, 100%. I love gifts, and that's just like my love language, and Jamal knows that. So at the start of the relationship, me and Jamal went on so many dates. He was treating me like a princess. We were going out on dates, he was buying me gifts, you know, we were spending a lot of quality time together. But now Jamal is the complete opposite. He's completely fallen off, and it's like he doesn't care. Like,
Deborah's love language is a bit confusing sometimes. Me personally, I think it's wishy-washy. Like, 1 minute it's giving gifts, next minute it's quality time. Like, I understand it could be both of them at the same time, but one thing is always outweighing the other. I don't mind it, but I'd rather like go towards the quality time right now, obviously because of my personal things I'm doing.
Oh God, this is so funny. Expectations. I think with Jamal and Deborah, as Deborah said, it's little things. Jamal just needs to start by acknowledging these things, and that will help Deborah regulate most of her concerns with Jamal, I believe. Let's just go to episode 2, okay? Next.